Call this meeting of the Carson City Historic Resources Commission on Wednesday, May 7th, 2025 to order. Danielle, can you call the roll, please?
Chair Drews,
Here?
Vice Chair Schmitter, Commissioner Block,
Here.
Commissioner Darney,
Here.
Commissioner Smith, Commissioner Spielda, Commissioner Wright. A quorum is present.
Thank you. Next item is public comment. The public is invited to address the commission at this time and comment on any matter and discuss any matter that's relevant to or within the authority of the Historic Resources Commission. Denny.
Thank you very much, Chair. And I make it sort of brief, but I'm really curious how things will work for the solar suggestion and A, B, or BA? A, 5, there we go, thank you. We just talked about it, I lost it. But I also wanted to thank you all for the, Chair Drew, for your presentation of the winners for the historical houses. Thank you, and congratulations to those that were. I got to meet Bobby for the first time. I've known Chris for a bit, but so good. And then, of course, Jed. So got to hear a little bit more about that. So thank you very much for your part in that, and all of you.
You're welcome, Dave. Be careful, because 30 years ago, Jed was doing what you were doing. He'd show up at every meeting. Now he's on the board, so.
10 years you could be on this side.
Is there any other public comment? Hearing no, we'll move to item 4 for possible action. Approval of minutes from March 5th, 2025. You guys had a chance to read those? Any questions or comments on them? Entertain a motion.
I move we approve the minutes as written by staff for the March 5th, 2025 meeting.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next item is item 5A, HRC-2025-10 or 0105 for possible action. Discussion and possible action regarding a request to 1, remove all hazardous trees and clear the lot of root intrusion. 2, install pavers around the house. 3, install new HVAC units on the east side of the house. And 4, install new wood picket fence around the perimeter of the property on property zoned residential office, RO, located at 311 West 3rd Street, Assessor's parcel number 003-124-01. Heather.
Thank you, Heather Ferris, for the record. This property was constructed in 1869 and combines influences from Greek, Gothic, and Classical Revival. The historic significance is due to its association with the inventor of the Ferris wheel. The applicant is seeking your approval for the removal of all hazardous trees and to clear the lot of root intrusion, install pavers around the house, and install new HVAC units, as well as the installation of a new wood picket fence around the perimeter of the property. Some of the work has already been completed. The property has been cleared of root intrusion, and 2 trees have been removed from the property, one from the front and one from the rear of the property. According to the applicant, these trees were hazardous and obstructing power lines. You can see the trees in the August 2024 Google Street View in the front and the rear. And then these are the locations of where the trees were today. These were taken about a week ago. A single tree does remain in the front of the house, and then there's also the tree that's in the city's right-of-way at the corner of West 3rd and South Division. And that has been trimmed, but obviously not removed. The applicant has also installed pavers around the house to help protect the foundation from root intrusion. The pavers connect to the sidewalk along West 3rd Street to continue the walkway from the street to the front door. Additionally, there's a paver walkway from the curb at South Division Street to the door on the west side of the residence. And then it essentially is like a 4 or 5 foot walkway around the entire house as well. The applicant is proposing the installation of ground-mounted HVAC units on the east side of the residence and the installation of a new picket fence around the perimeter of the property to match the fence that was once there as pictured here. Staff finds that the changes to the landscape, the new picket fence and the installation of the HVAC units on the east side of the residence comply with the Historic District guidelines. I'm available for questions, and I was told that the applicant would likely be here, but I do not see her, so.
Any questions of Heather?
I just have a question. What is the height of the fence? It's not listed in here that I noticed.
I believe the old fence, the previous fence was 4 feet. They did not specify, but we should specify that in the approval.
Okay, so 4 feet?
It wasn't clear to me what style of picket they were going to use. Is it going to be the same as the fence that was removed?
That's what she requested, yes.
Okay. What do you call that style? What's the name of that style? Do you know?
Old Carson.
I don't know.
It's probably 48 inches at the posts, and at the top of the fence pickets, it's going to be 42 with that probably 10 to 12 inch rot board at the bottom. So that's probably what it is. It was, there was a fence identical to that around Bob Kroll's office, the Episcopal Church. That's what I emulated on my house. And there was a few others. The J. Neely Johnson house where Lupo is, there is a fence around it, just that same style.
Go ahead, Ron.
Do we need to clarify or state the material, wood as opposed to vinyl?
Yeah, it says wood. I think we should make sure that we state that. The other question I had, Heather, is she using, looks like 6x6 or 5x5 wooden posts, or is she gonna?
She did
use-
not specify. She provided a statement that she wanted to install the fence consistent with what was there previously.
And it looks like the photo we have of the existing fence is showing lighting on top of it. I don't see that in the application. So I'm assuming it's just gonna have posts with capitals.
That would be my assumption.
Any other commission member questions or comments?
Yeah, I just want to make a comment. I would think that when approving this, that we just get a little bit detailed with the assumptions of, in kind and lights and all that should be a part of the application or the approval.
Any other questions or comments from board members? Any commission, or any public comment on this item? Danny?
Thank you very much, Chair Denny French, Carson City. When I was looking over this item, the tops of it, the pointy or the sort of what I considered a pointer at the end to the right for me, just on those, just for practicality, 4 foot high and not too many pedestrians and people running around with things. The less pointy, the better, but also on the capping for the gate-ish area, it's described here, but is she going to stick with that as well as a 4x4 or such? Would be helpful for me to, and some of the pavers looked a little out of ordinary for me, but the whole idea that she's doing put together looks real well, nice for me. So that's just my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Denny. The points on the pickets are actually to repel water. The flatter a picket is, the more it'll hold water on top, so that they're usually more pointed or slightly rounded to keep the water off the top. That too, but
Heather, I have a question about the air conditioner units. Do we require that they be screened since they will be visible from the street?
We have no requirements in the code. I think we can certainly do that. It's something I struggled with when I was writing the staff report.
I'd,
So, we
I'd
can
review that
certainly-
because we have a code for hiding mechanical units. I don't know if that's.
On the
Is
roof.
that, is it specific to the roof?
Yes, yeah.
Because I wouldn't, a simple mini split box out there is fine and dandy, but if they're going to put a 5-ton green box, that's a little different. It's visible from the street, and that's a concern.
But I think with the fence going, the fence is going to go around the perimeter of the property, correct? Or just the front?
My understanding, based on her application, is the perimeter of the property.
Then I wouldn't have.
So there's
any
your
problem with
screen.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Good.
I move to approve HRC 2025-0105 based on the findings and subject on the conditions of approval included in the staff report, Carson City Historic Design Guidelines, and consistent with Historic Resources Commission, with the fence being constructed solely out of wood, the corner supports being at least a 6x6 wood picket, and to emulate what's been in the district.
Can I ask you for an amendment on that?
Sure.
Instead of saying 6x6, I would say match existing, because I don't think it's that big.
Oh, it surely was that big, but there's nothing there to match existing. I mean, we're going off of a picture.
Oh, you're right.
But
That's fine.
yeah, I think a 6x6 was pretty much customary back in that day. And the cap, and I'd like to amend it with the cap being a wood cap, non-lighted.
A motion, no. Motion to, or any questions? Do I have a second?
Aye, second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you for that, Heather. Next item is 5B, HRC-2025-0157. For possible action, discussion and possible action regarding a request to install roof-mounted solar panel on property zone single-family 6,000 SF6 located at 500 Mountain Street, Assessor's parcel number 003-241-04. Heather.
Thank you. The subject property is known as the Krebs House. It was built in 1914 and was the site of the movie The Shootist. The house is important for its historical associations as well as its architectural design. The applicant is seeking approval to install solar panels on the west-facing portion of the roof of the house. The proposed location of the solar panels is the least conspicuous location and will not be easily seen from the street. Additionally, the portion of the house where the panels are proposed to be located is the addition that was approved by HRC in 2019 and is not part of the original house. Division 5.14.1 of the development standards in part states, new mechanical systems, solar panels, skylights, and/or other devices on the roof are to be placed so they are inconspicuous from the street and in such a manner that no damage is done to any character-defining features of the building. Staff finds that the solar panels are sufficiently inconspicuous and will not compromise the features of the building. I'm available for questions, and the applicant is also here.
Thank you, Heather. Questions, comments?
I think it's a good place for the solar panels. Seems like it won't be shown, you won't be able to see them from the street, and so I think that's a logical, good position.
Yeah, one of the things we learned on page 37 and 40, I think it shows the locations below the top of the ridge. That's one of the things we learned about solar panels. If we keep it below, you can't see any part of it from the street. So I think that's a great placement there. Any other commission member questions, comments? Any public comment on this item? You're a public, Denny. Any questions of the applicant? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, even though the McFadden family representative that likes to speak in public's not here. Anyway, I move to approve HRC 2025-0157 based on the findings and subject to the conditions of approval included in the staff report, Carson City Historic District guidelines, and consistent with Historic Resource Commission policies.
Motion, do I have a second? We have a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved unanimously. Thank you, guys. Next item is 5C, HRC 2024-0449 for possible action, discussion and possible action regarding a request to 1, open an enclosed front porch, 2, replace the roof covering the existing landing and add new railings, and 3, replace porch decking as necessary on property zoned downtown mixed use located at 106 South Curry Street, Assessor's parcel number 003-217-11. Heather.
This building was constructed in 1913, is a one-story structure, and is set above grade by approximately 5 feet. The main body of the building has a steeply pitched hip roof with narrow exposed rafter ends. The front of the building is an enclosed porch. The applicant is requesting approval to open the enclosed porch, replace the roof covering the existing landing, and add new railings and replace porch decking as necessary. The porch would utilize the same footprint as the existing porch. The existing flat roof overhang that covers the existing landing at the top of the stairs would be replaced with a shallow pitched gable roof to mimic the pitch of the existing porch roof. Railings would be installed around the porch to match the existing handrails on the stairs, and the concrete porch would be wrapped with vertically oriented siding. According to the 2011 nomination, the property is not a contributing building. While the property is in the historic district, it is not associated with any known significant patterns of local history or people. And according to the survey information, it is lacking in architectural integrity. The main part of the building is concrete block with a concrete foundation and wood frame, while the existing porch has been enclosed with a variety of board finishes and shingles under the gable end. Staff finds that the request will comply with the guidelines in that the footprint and the original configuration of the porch will remain, and the size, scale, and proportion and massing of the structure will be maintained. I'm available for questions, and the applicant is also here.
Any commission member questions? Lou?
I just had a question. Does anyone know, do you know when the porch, the exterior porch with those arched windows was installed on the porch? No, okay.
Lori Vandy Brake. No, I think it was probably like in the 80s. The arch windows are actually plexiglass,
Yeah,
and the front door is actually like plastic. So I'm thinking the 80s.
okay.
Probably when the wedding chapel phase
Exactly.
was here in town.
Exactly. I found a check that said 1980 on it, so.
Okay.
From Comstock Books.
The existing steps in the landing that's there right now that's out of concrete, what's that going to be faced with in the front? You said you were going to
I'm going to,
cover over the hearts.
like with, what did I put in the application? What's that called?
It's like a vertical wood siding.
Just to all match.
It's in
so
your,
it'll-
I can find it in your packet.
It'll match what's already kind of on the left side, but the right side was horizontal. so it's
One's,
weird.
yeah, one's going sideways, one's going up and down, make it all the same.
I think I'd like replicating the stairs, the railing going up the stairs, because it's pretty simplistic in form, and the house isn't really that fancy. but I think that that's going to be a vast improvement.
Thank you.
Other questions, comments? Rob, maybe you can answer this. On
Yeah.
page 85,
Which one?
page 85,
Uh-huh.
the front porch plan
Yeah,
is showing a 4x4 post that's kind of in the middle there. I'm just wondering if that's necessary. It's kind of out of scale with,
probably not. It all depends on what's existing in that might be hidden up and holding up the existing porch roof, if that is the existing porch roof. I assume that it would be, not the little piece sticking out, but the main roof over the enclosed porch. It depends on what's up in there for a header. But yeah, it'd be better to have it. It was probably not involved in the original.
Yeah.
One thing I did notice when I went over there, well, yeah, it does. There'd be like one bay on the right and two bays on the left of that center stair. But I noticed when I was over looking at this, that this house appears to be one of those kit houses, those Sears Roebuck. Comes in a big box.
yeah.
Probably.
My guess is it probably had a shed porch rather than
Yeah.
a gabled one.
Most
originally.
likely pretty simple. So that would be. No, there's several of them around the neighborhood. But yeah, I don't have any issues with what they're planning on doing. I would like to see the scale of the porch railings and stuff mimic what's there now.
Yeah, and to that point, on page 85, we do show 4x4 pickets, and I think that should probably be
That's probably a typo.
2x2.
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 So we'll just make sure that's corrected on our file copy. Any other questions or comments? Is there any public comment on this item?
I do have one comment for the owner. When you have this now, your front of the house will be exposed to view. How are the windows that are going to now be exposed? Are you going to need to replace them?
Nope, they've all been done.
all
So they
done.
are all single pane, double hung windows.
Excellent, okay.
I already
that
did
was
all that before I came to do this.
Perfect.
Is there any public comment? Any?
Thank you for the question about the windows, the ones that now will be exposed. I'm really disappointed it wasn't a historical window, plexiglass type situation and put in the time period. But it would be nice to have those windows done in a way that sort of reflected the original time period, but I understand that that might not have been something that can be put into this idea. Thank you.
Can I answer that? I think if you'll notice that when they enclosed the porch, it had rectangular windows at first. Then later, they turned those out and made the Gothic arches that are in there now, but I don't think they've ever been glass. They've always been plexiglass, so it's got to be like 1970, 1980s. The existing ones in the main house, yeah, those were not original that were there that were replaced. I think they've already replaced them. Yeah, if you look at the one picture, you can see the white door there on the left. And then there's a window, I think, on each side. Yeah.
I don't have all of the pictures on the PowerPoint.
Thank you. I thought I found them.
I will note, the applicant came before you guys, I think maybe 2 years ago, and got approval to replace the windows that are interior to
Right.
the enclosed porch. And they're wood framed, as she indicated, and they're all appropriate based on what your approval was.
Yeah, I'm satisfied with them.
And the good news is we're not going to lose a lamb's tongue this time.
Any other questions or comments on this item? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
You don't mind? I move to approve HRC is that right, 2024? 0449, based on the findings and subject to the conditions of approval included in the staff report, Carson City Historic District guidelines, and consistent with Historic Resource Commission policies.
Motion to have second.
Me, I'll second the motion.
Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Heather. Thank you. Next item is HRC 2025-0156 for possible action, discussion and possible action regarding a request to, one, replace the existing driveway on Mountain Street with a combination of concrete and pavers and create a new paver driveway on West Spear Street. Two, replace the concrete steps on the west side and adjust grading to drain away from the house. Three, convert existing fence sections into gates to create additional access. Four, enhance the southern yard and west side landscaping to improve drainage. Five, install a new gazebo approximately 156 square feet in size on the rear patio. Six, replace the front concrete walkway leading to the stairs. And seven, repair the sunken section of the foundation on the northwest side of the house on property zone single-family 6,000, located at 707 West Robinson Street, Assessor's parcel number 003-242-04. Heather.
Thank you. This property is known as the Bender House and is significant due to its association with local history. I won't repeat all 7 things that the applicant's asking for, but I will go through the request briefly here. The request includes various changes to the site's landscaping, including replacement of the existing driveway materials for the driveway on Mountain Street by eliminating the asphalt and installing pavers. Additionally, the applicant proposes a new driveway off of West Spear Street, which would also be finished in pavers. New or improved landscaping on the west and south sides of the property. On the west side, the applicant proposes to remove some of the existing plants and reuse some of them as well, and to reuse the current rock for borders along the path. The applicant also intends to improve the drainage on the side of the house and remove the existing concrete steps which aren't visible from the street at the west entrance into the house and install new concrete steps. On the south end of the property, the applicant proposes to remove small and unmanaged trees and saplings that are damaging the fence and the shed structure in the rear. No large trees would be removed. They would only be trimmed as necessary. There's no lawn proposed with the landscaping. Instead, pavers and planters would be utilized for planting shrubs and flowers. And the applicant is also proposing to replace the existing front walkway between the sidewalk and the front steps. This would be replaced with like material and like finish. The existing fencing consists of wood pickets with brick pillars along West Robinson Street and a portion of Mountain Street. The fence around the southern yard along portions of Mountain and West Spear consists of solid board fence with brick pillars. The applicant is proposing to create 2 gated access points that will mimic the existing fence. One gate would be at the proposed driveway off of West Spear, and the other would be internal to the property at the southwest corner of the garage, and it's circled here in orange. The applicant does not intend on replacing the existing metal gate at the driveway off of Mountain Street. However, he has indicated that it currently remains open at all times as it just doesn't function. So once you park a vehicle in the driveway, you can't actually close the gates. So he's exploring options, but at this time, they're going to remain. So the gazebo, the applicant seeking approval for the construction of 156 square foot gazebo. It would be placed at the rear of the house and the east of the attached garage. It would not be readily visible from Mountain Street or West Spear Street. And finally, the applicant has indicated that portions of the foundation are in need of repair. While he intends to repair the foundation with like materials, he will also be hiring a structural engineer in order to determine how the foundation will need to be repaired. Staff finds that the replacement of the existing driveway with the pavers and the creation of the new driveway, the replacement of the concrete steps and a concrete walkway, the conversion of existing fence sections into gates, and the enhanced landscaping and new gazebo comply with the historic district guidelines as detailed in the staff report. The proposed improvements to on-site drainage are considered ordinary maintenance and repair of the property and will not result in a change in design, building, material, or external appearance of the structure. And then with regard to the foundation, staff recommends that HRC defer this decision until such time as the applicant has more information as to how he's actually going to achieve the repair. And at that time, we would ask that he submit a new application to HRC for consideration. And that completes my presentation. The applicant's also here.
Thank you. Any questions, any commission member questions of Heather?
For the gazebo, is there going to be a new pad poured?
Come on up, David.
David Tice, I'm the owner. Still. No, there's existing concrete. It's not changing anything. It's just setting it up.
Are you done? I didn't see on your map here, but on the, can I see back the photograph of the I guess it would be the east side where the curved porch is? The photograph, right there. Are you replacing that strip of sidewalk from the street sidewalk to the steps?
No,
Okay.
the actual sidewalk is in good shape.
That one there?
There's
Okay.
a joint right there that will be from that to the front stairs, not including the front stairs.
Right, so that concrete sidewalk I see right there going to the steps is gonna stay?
No,
No.
you see, there's an angle, that's the actual sidewalk for Robinson Street there.
Right,
Okay. Please say that again. No, I won't.
and I'm asking that because I didn't see that on the site map. Can you put the site map up?
I don't believe it's on the site map.
That's a city sidewalk there, right?
City sidewalk. This to here will be replaced.
Okay, so that one there, because it's kind of by itself and around the corner from your other main paving area, the
Yes.
driveways, I'd prefer to see that mimicked what's originally there.
That's
The score lines,
That's the plan.
it is,
It's
okay.
looked exactly, score line's the same, the
Okay.
lines of the width, everything is exactly the
That was
same.
my only concern.
I want it not changed, just better.
Yeah, otherwise I agree with all the other stuff you're doing. It looks great.
Good.
Thank you.
You're getting rid of the cracks.
Well, it's so broken up that people trip on it.
Otherwise, it's a great pattern, so.
Oh, I love the pattern. It's really deteriorated.
I have a question since we're on that picture.
Sure.
Are you going to keep the gate on the front porch?
Yes,
Okay.
no changes.
Yeah.
I know you did. I saw
Yeah,
that
you-
long time ago.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
No, I like it.
Oh, okay.
It keeps wanderers out.
Yeah,
So
so
it's a wonderful property. We look forward to it every Halloween.
Well, we had fun with it last year.
I've had children and grandchildren.
I was there as a child, so.
Any other questions or comments?
I just want to commend you on your packet that you submitted and all the things that you have planned for it. Most of the property changes, landscaping, things like that are on the rear of the property or behind the fence, so they won't be visible from the outside. You're not changing the exterior of the building. So
Correct.
I think that's all great. It's nice to have it taken care of. The sunken foundation, that might turn into something more, so I'm glad you're having somebody else look at it and come up with a plan. I've
Well,
worked on,
got a plan, and I'll bring it to you guys again, and we'll talk about it at that point, because I'm sure it's not going to be a quick fix, but we'll
sometimes they
discuss
are,
it.
but
We're hoping it will be, but I have a feeling it won't be.
yeah, in my experience, they are often are a little more complicated, so, but that's,
In terms of bringing it back, might be able to do administrative approval.
yeah.
Yeah, that would be up to,
Okay.
Yeah, so resubmit the application, and if it looks simple enough, I think we could probably approve it administratively, do like we did with the Bank Saloon and their sidewalk solution, so.
That would be time saving.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'd like to make a comment.
Sure.
I've been looking at this stuff for 29 years, almost as long as Mike. This is a very great presentation.
Oh, thank you.
Tabitha, I know it wasn't all David. You guys, you did an absolutely great job. I'm excited that they're gonna take out that broken concrete, and you'll probably find that it's about this thick. It going up to the front porch and trying to figure out how that metal gate's gonna work over on Mountain Street. Getting rid of the blacktop and the old trunks of the trees that have been cut down. And there was a series of 5 walnut trees that were there, or black locust trees that came down, so you might lose a couple more of those, I'm just guessing, in the wind. So you might have those trimmed up. And then over on Spear Street, just where they did that new sewer lateral clean out, looks like a little small headache compared to the rest of the things you're gonna be doing, but this is a great presentation.
Thank you. That one stump was already ground out. Did you see that? Have you been up there? Yeah, last week it was ground out, because I never understood why no one ever did that. It's like everyone trips on it and they go, what's that? You know, it's like, okay.
Any other questions or comment? Yep, for the record, great presentation.
Thank you.
It's-
Thank you,
the-
Tabitha.
The renderings are really.
That's what she
well
does for a living. So,
Good job. Any other questions or comments? Any public comment on this item? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Rob, you can do it? Yeah. Okay.
Included in the staff report, the Carson City Historic District guidelines and consistent with Historic Resource Commission policies.
Have a-
In the written part, it says excluding the foundation repairs.
Oh, and I'd like to also attach
Would-
excluding the foundation repairs, which will be heard at a future date. Or administratively.
I have a motion, to have a second?
Thank you.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, guys, a lot.
thank
Good luck.
you. Appreciate it.
Next item is number 6, staff reports. Heather?
so I don't have a whole lot to report back. The scavenger hunt is now on the web. It's been up since last week. And our next meeting is July 2nd at 4, and I'm anticipating at least one item.
Okay. Any commission member reports? I want to commend Heather. The questions that she's sending back to applicants are making these so much easier to review. I mean, we had 5 items that could have taken 2 hours, but Heather asked the right questions, we got the right responses, and really good job. Thank you. Any other commission member reports?
When I was gone, you guys approved a fence. There was a chain link fence at 310 North Nevada Street The chain link fence came down, a wood fence went up, they painted it, it looks great, if you haven't been by to see it.
Any other questions or comments?
I wondered if anybody turned in their treasure hunt.
I don't believe we've received any yet, but we have till the end of the month.
Okay, it's a little early.
Yeah,
Okay,
but I'll report out in July.
okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen too many people wandering, so. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Are there, Heather, hard copies?
There are hard copies at our office, and then it's always available online as well.
And thank you, Luann, Joan, and Michelle for going through that, editing it, and getting us another project, or, yeah, product. Any public comment? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned unanimously.